Errorless learning is used to promote skill acquisition and can be used to teach a variety of tasks or skills. It is most commonly used in teaching stimulus discrimination. Stimulus discrimination is being able to tell the difference between different stimuli. An errorless learning procedure may be especially effective for individuals who have previously displayed problem behavior when error correction procedures have been utilized. For children or adults who have difficulty with deviating from routines and response overgeneralization combined with behavior problems related to incorrect responding or novel situations, errorless learning can often be the ideal procedure to facilitate skill acquisition. Errorless learning techniques have been shown to be effective with a wide variety of populations and could be used with virtually all individuals. The purpose of errorless learning is to eliminate or reduce incorrect responses. The task is manipulated in such a way that the individual is unlikely to make an error. It involves the gradual, systematic increase in task difficulty and/or reduction in the intensity of prompt delivered by the instructor. The increase in difficulty or reduction in assistance correlates with an increased opportunity for the learner to make errors. The use of errorless learning may also aid in acquiring other important pre-academic skills, such as instructional control and attending behaviors, which also decrease the probability that an incorrect response will be made. Depending on the errorless technique employed, the materials will vary. Typically, an array of stimuli is necessary for a stimulus discrimination task. One may also need to make several sets of stimuli as the physical properties are manipulated throughout the procedure. There are 6 different techniques or approaches in errorless learning that can be used with a variety of clients. These approaches include stimulus fading, stimulus shaping, response prevention, delayed prompting, superimposition with stimulus fading, and superimposition with stimulus shaping. The first 4 techniques are the most commonly used approaches, while the final 2 are used less frequently. In stimulus fading, you first train the selection of the correct stimulus in the absence of the incorrect stimulus. After correct responding to the SD is established, include the S delta in the array. At first, the stimuli are drastically different across at least 2 stimulus dimensions. As the learner progresses through the procedure, gradually reduce the differences between the 2 stimuli until they are the same shape, size, intensity, color, etc. In teaching Mary to read her name, the instructor first reinforces touching the name card Mary, which is white with black type, when it is the only card on the table. After touching the name card becomes an established response, the instructor introduces another card with Sam written on it. This name card is black with white type. Therefore, the 2 name cards look very different. As the learner progresses through the procedure, the other name card starts to look more and more like the learner's name card, Mary. This change is gradual and systematic until the 2 cards appear exactly the same, with the exception of Mary or Sam.
Great job, Mary!
Stimulus shaping might be used to help a learner acquire shape discrimination. To use stimulus shaping, we first initially present 2 stimuli that the learner has already established in his or her identification repertoire. Gradually change the physical properties of the stimuli so that the terminal stimuli are physically different from that of the initial stimuli. This differs from stimulus fading as it makes gradual changes to all stimuli involved in the stimulus discrimination task until they have gone through a complete physical transformation and are different from the initial stimuli. To employ stimulus shaping, it is important that the initial stimuli were previously learned and easily identifiable by the participant. The instructor has the terminal goal of teaching Mary to be able to identify 10 different shapes when placed in an array. The instructor would first select 2 shapes that Mary already has in her repertoire. Mary can already identify a circle and a square when delivered with an instruction like, touch circle. Therefore, the instructor begins with these 2 shapes as the initial stimuli.
Mary, touch square. Nice job. Touch circle. Good job.
After touching the circle and square following the instruction is established with very few errors, the instructor begins to change the edges of the shapes to resemble other shapes, like a triangle and a hexagon. This is done gradually and systematically until the terminal shapes are physically different from the stimuli the learner started with. The instruction also changes to reflect the identification of the appropriate shapes.
Mary, touch triangle. Nice job! Touch hexagon. Good job, Mary. Mary, touch hexagon. Nice job. Mary, touch triangle. Good job, way to go. Mary, touch hexagon. Way to go. Touch triangle. Good job, Mary.
With response prevention, you first present all the terminal stimuli in their final forms from the very first learning trial. The opportunity to make the response must only be present for one stimulus, the SD, and thus the individual cannot complete the incorrect response, the S delta, as the operandum is not available. An instructor may also block the incorrect response before the learner completes the response. Once responding to the correct stimulus has been established, the other operandum for completing the response is added to the S delta as well. This completes the opportunity for stimulus discrimination. However, responding to the SD should still occur with very few errors. Another method of response prevention involves blocking the incorrect response before the learner completes the response. For example, if the instruction of touch shoe is delivered and the learner begins to move their hand towards the sock, the response will be blocked by the instructor placing their hand over the shoe. Thus, the learner only has the opportunity to touch the shoe, the correct response, and receive reinforcement following the completion of that response. With repeated exposure to the stimuli and associated instruction, the learner should make fewer attempts to identify the incorrect stimulus and thus require fewer instances of redirection. The steps of delayed prompting are: following the presentation of materials or following the delivery of an instruction, a prompt is immediately presented so that the individual makes the correct response without the opportunity to make an error. A systematic, gradual increase in the time between the presentation of a stimuli or instruction and the delivery of a prompt. Thus, the individual is given the opportunity to make the response independently. Following the passage of the delay or an incorrect response, a prompt is delivered so that the correct response is always completed. All correct responses, independent or prompted, should result in the delivery of reinforcement. Additionally, delayed prompting is the best errorless learning approach to teach other skills other than discrimination, like imitation or following directions, as the delay between the instruction and delivery of a physical prompt can be systematically increased. The time delay should be increased in small intervals, such as 1 or 2 seconds. If the learner then makes more than 2 errors in an individual session, the time delay should be reduced to the previous phase. Responding before the delivery of a prompt should increase as the individual then gains access to a reinforcer more quickly. In teaching a match-to-sample discrimination task, an instructor may choose to use a time delay for prompting. During the first phase of the procedure, the instructor would provide a prompt immediately following the delivery of the instruction to match same.
Mary, match same. Nice job!
After progressing through the procedure, the learner is then given 1 second to respond to match same before the instructor prompts them to complete the correct response.
Mary, match same. Good job, Mary.
Next, the learner is given 3 seconds to respond to match same before the instructor prompts them to complete the correct response.
Mary, match same. Nice job, Mary.
Next, the learner is given 5 seconds to respond to match same before the instructor prompts them to complete their response.
Mary, match same. Nice job, Mary, way to go!
The goal will be for the learner to match the stimuli before a prompt is delivered in order to access a preferred item more quickly.
Mary, match same. Way to go, Mary, that's great! Match same. Awesome job, you did it!
The steps for superimposition with stimulus fading are: this technique does not involve making any changes to the physical properties of the choice stimulus. rather a prompt, is superimposed. Always superimpose a known stimulus with a novel stimulus. The added prompt is systematically faded as the procedure progresses and the learner acquires the discrimination. In order to teach the reading of sight words, a practitioner may fashion cards with the type words over a picture of that word. For example, in teaching the child to read bike, a picture of a bike will be added to the card. The picture of the bike will be faded gradually until the card only includes the word bike in the absence of any additional prompts.
What is this? Bike. Nice job. What is this? A bike. Good job, Mary. What is this? Bike. Nice job. What is this? Bike. Great job. What is this? Bike. Awesome job. What is this? Bike. Yay, you did it. Nice job.
The steps to superimposition with stimulus shaping are: the technique does not involve making any changes to the physical properties of the choice stimulus, rather a prompt is superimposed. Always superimpose a known stimulus with a novel stimulus. The added prompt is systematically shaped as the procedure progresses and the learner acquires the discrimination. In teaching a child to sight read words, the instructor would prepare cards with words that the learner could not already read, like pizza. The instructor would put a picture of the pizza on the card. Over successive trials, the picture of the pizza would be shaped slowly and incorporated into a part of the word. For example, the picture of the pizza could become part of the A in the word. Eventually, the picture of pizza is completely faded and the word controls the sight reading response.
What is this? Pizza. Good job. What is this? Pizza. Nice job, Mary. What is this? Pizza. Good job, Mary. What is this? Pizza. Good job, Mary. What is this? Pizza. Nice job. What is this? Pizza. Awesome job. What is this? Pizza. Great job, Mary. What is this? Pizza. Yay, way to go.
The initial errorless learning procedure should be designed by someone with an understanding of the principles of behavior, such as a board-certified behavior analyst. Data are collected on the frequency of correct and incorrect responses, typically done using event recording. When using a full physical prompt, an incorrect response is only characterized by the resistance of a prompt. When using delayed prompting, data are also collected on whether the response was completed independently or following the delivery of a prompt. Delayed prompting may result in a condition known as prompt dependency, in which the individual may not respond independently as they will inevitably be prompted to make the correct response and receive reinforcement as a result. For further information on troubleshooting for prompt dependency and other behaviors, please reference the standard operating procedure. There is little evidence that using errorless learning procedures facilitate a more effective or efficient acquisition of a skill than traditional error correction procedures. Therefore, errorless learning procedures should not be chosen over other teaching approaches to promote an increased rate of skill acquisition. However, it may be quite beneficial for learners who have not progressed as planned with other techniques. To review, the 6 types of errorless learning are stimulus fading, stimulus shaping, response prevention, delayed prompting, superimposition with stimulus fading, and superimposition with stimulus shaping. Thank you for watching!